Welcome to E-Content Development Center, Majlis Arts and Science College, Puramannur. I am Priyanka, Assistant Professor, Postgraduate Department of Commerce. In this section, let's discuss the topic on planning. After watching this video, the learners will be able to understand what is planning, what are the features of planning, steps involved in planning, importance of planning, and limitations of planning. Before discussing the topic, we should know that what is planning. Management is a process of planning, decision making, organizing, leading, motivation and control of human resources, financial, physical and information resources of an organization to reach its goal efficiently and effectively. Planning is the basic function of management. So, let's discuss what is planning. Planning is the basic function of management. It is a continuous process. It involves the determination of future course of action and laying down the sequence of action to accomplish objectives. It is the preparation of blueprint. Planning is bridge between the present and the future. It has been called the primary management function. Let's move to the definition. According to Allen, management planning involves the development of forecast, objectives, policies, programs, procedures, schedules and budget. Next one, features of planning. First one is planning is done on the basis of objectives. It involves certain steps like determination of objectives and development of policies, programs, procedures to achieve the objectives of the organization. Then second one is it is a primary function of management. Without planning, an organization cannot work to achieve their goals. It is thus the first function of management and is rightly called an essence of management. The next one, it is a mental activity. Planning is thinking in advance what is to be done. So, it is an intellectual process. Next one, it is a continuous process. Planning is continuous and permanent process. It never ends. A manager make a plans and also modify the old plans according to the information received from the person who are responsible to execute it. Then it is dynamic. The entire plan is done on the basis of some assumptions which may not be correct or true in future. So, the management wants to revise, modify and adjust plans as per the existing circumstances. The next one, it involves selection of best course of action. The number of alternative course of action to achieve specific objectives of organization. Some of them may be feasible and others not. Planning involves selection of best course of action from a number of alternative course of action. Then seventh one is it should be flexible. Planning should not be rigid. The management should be able to make changes according to the circumstances. Then planning is forward looking. It is primarily concerned with looking into future. It requires forecasting of future situation in which the organization has to function. Let's move to next topic, planning process. The management has to undertake the following step for effective managerial planning. The first one is determination of objective. It is the first step in the planning process. Objectives are the goals which an enterprise would like to achieve. After determining organizational objectives, objectives of department, sub-department and other sections should be determined. The objectives help to employees to understand what is accepted for them. Then second one is construction of planning premises. Planning premises are the assumptions about future, that is the accepted environment and internal conditions. So, planning premises involves external premises and internal premises. External premises includes factors like political, social, technological, competition, plans and actions, government policies, etc. Then internal premises includes the sales forecast, existing policies and programs of the organization, capital investment policies and philosophy of management. These assumptions are formed on the basis of forecasting. Forecasting is the visualization about future. So, it is an attempt to see the future on the basis of present. Next one, collection, classification and processing of information. The information required for planning process should be collected, classified and analyzed. The fourth one is identification of alternative course of action. The next step in planning is to find out the various course of action that are available for accomplishment of objective. The number of alternatives should be reduced to minimum and only viable alternatives are considered for final selection. Then evaluation of alternative. After selecting the viable alternative, the next step is to evaluate this alternative in the light of its resources and constraints. Sixth one, selecting the best course of action. After the evaluation of various alternatives, the fit one is selected. Then preparation of subsidiary plans. After preparing the basic plan, the supporting plans are to be prepared. Next one, implementation and follow up. The plan is to be implemented and results are evaluated. For the purpose, a sequence of action is to be determined. It includes formulation of policies, procedures, schedules, methods and budget, etc. Then ninth one is assessment of strength and weakness. The strength and weakness of a plan should be assessed. Corrective action should be taken into rectify it. Then importance of planning. Planning is the basic element required in every organization. Without planning, an enterprise cannot achieve its organizational goal. Sound planning is the foundation of efficient management. Let's see the importance of planning. First one, focus attention on organizational objectives. Formulation of objective is the first step in planning. The course of action can be decided on the basis of objective. Planning keeps everyone informed of the objective. Every person can tune his activity on the basis of objective. So, there is a harmony in the activities of people in the organization to achieve overall objective. The second one, to offset uncertainty. Planning helps management to foresee various uncertainties due to change in technology, taste and fashion and other environmental conditions. Sufficient provision can be made in plans to meet this uncertainty. Third one, helps in coordination. Well considered overall plan unify interdepartmental activities to achieve overall objectives. The various departments work in accordance with overall plan and harmony is achieved. Fourth one, facilitate control. Control cannot be exercised without proper planning. Through planning, management decides the standard of performance. With the help of these standards, comparison can be made with actual. If there is a difference, proper step can be taken to correct it. It constitutes control. The next one, planning brings economy into operation. Planning helps to anticipate the manpower requirements, raw material, etc. Therefore, they can be obtained at the most favorable terms. Resources can be properly allocated, so wastage can be avoided. All these lead to economy in operation. Then sixth one, enhance efficiency. Planning determines the various activities to be undertaken by various departments. This enhances efficiencies of various departments. Then seventh one, helps motivation. Targets are already decided and it is communicated to workers. The managers can encourage them to attain targets. Let's move to the limitation of planning. Planning is the basic function of management. There are situations in which sometimes even well-designed plans fail to achieve desired result. So, planning has its own limitations. These are, first one, expensive. Planning is a time-consuming and expensive process. Small and medium enterprise find it difficult to make comprehensive plans. A lot of money is to be spent for collection, analysis and editing of data. Specialized staffs are necessary. Then second one, lack of reliable data. It is difficult to procure reliable data. Absence of accurate data will upset the plan. Third one, time consuming. It will take lot of time to define objective for collecting, analyzing and editing data. A number of steps are required to complete planning process. So a lot of time may be taken. Then it encourages a false sense of security. Every manager thinks that he has to work according to plan. The next one, technological changes. The rate and nature of technology changes present difficulties in planning. The plans are prepared under the existing technology. It has to face numerous problems. It results higher cost of production. Then external factors. Planning is based on future assumptions. There is a chance of changing assumption in future. The management does not have any control over the external factors. These factors will affect planning process. The seventh one is limitation of forecasting. Planning depends on forecasting of future. So the success of planning depends upon the management ability to forecast future situation. If forecast is failure, plans will also be failure. The next one is barriers of planning. First one, difficulty of accurate premising. Planning exercise is undertaken certain assumptions of future events which are determined by a large number of factors in the environment. One of the limiting factor in planning is the difficulty of formulating the planning premises. Then lack of appropriate planning climate. Lack of appropriate planning climate with the organization as whole. It is the one of the barrier of planning. There may be lack of top management support. The third one, internal inflexibility. At the time of planning, the objectives of the organization, its policies, procedures, rules, programs, etc. are determined. It is very difficult to bring changes in time and again. It is known as internal inflexibility. The fourth one is external inflexibility. It means various external factors that cause limited flexibility in planning. Planning is affected by certain factors which not within the control of planners. These factors are political, social, economical and technological. Political situations at the national and international level put a limitation to planning. Then fifth one, uncertainty. Due to the complexity and changes, planners and managers do not have complete information about all factors influencing the decision. Then next one, inability to plan or inadequate planning. Managers are not born with the ability to plan. Some managers are not satisfied planners because they have lack of background, education, ability, etc. Others may have never been taught how to plan. When these two types of managers take the time to plan, they may not know how to conduct planning as a process. The next one, substandard information. Facts that out of date, of poor quality or of insufficient quantity can be major barriers to planning. No matter how well managers plan, if they are basing their plans on the basis of inferior information, their plans probably fail. So we can conclude by saying that planning is pervasive function. If a plan is effectively done, then the whole work is half done. Hope you are understood the things we discussed in this video.